Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hyrule Chronicles. My name is ArticulateT. I am the game master for this here campaign, of which we are currently in session 46 of 46, as it turns out. With me today, I am joined by Renji Vox, being played by TheNetherlad.
Good evening, and enjoy the ride.
I am also joined by Hikan Sio, being played by Alvarance.
Hello.
I'm also joined by Ziden Shari, being played by RoboPirate.
Hello.
And I'm also being joined by Max, who's played by Keistrith.
Hello, I'm very cold.
Oh, weather's been shit. As it's
Fair.
Yeah,
Very shit.
yeah.
I got like 2 feet of snow, and it's practically all gone because it's been nothing but a deluge of rain, practically.
I would have liked snow. Like if
We've just had the rain without the snow.
yeah, it's just been bitterly cold with the occasional rain. It's just there's been no excitement, and it sucks.
It's like, oh, it's the same thing again.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same thing tomorrow, and
Yeah.
the day after that, and the day after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be rainy here too.
So, what happened on the last episode, folks?
Who would like to do the honors?
So, last time we talked a lot. We finished up some business with the mayor, finished updating her. She said she wanted to have a celebration in our honor. We had some talking with Captain Rundis. We bought some food for the dragon puppies, the blue guard drakes, who've been accompanying us more because they're like, well, shit, we don't got anywhere else to go. And Renji had a very nice heart-to-heart with his loving patron.
I would
Hikan
not
had
categorize it as such.
Hikan had a really weird dream. The festivities started, we were paid, we were given a really cool item, a folding boat, and Hikan did some acrobatics, to which Renji was like, you know what's really awesome? Not talking and jumping on his feet.
Yes. Yes, that is correct.
By the way, I
What?
can teleport.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
We were heading back to the Zephyr's Favor to dole out some dough
Yes.
before we go find something on a stick for Ziden to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, I've already found things to eat, I'm sure.
Would you
I
like a
would call
good
that-
berry?
Edible.
Oh dear.
Good berries on a stick.
So, after conferring with the rest of the group, after the whole little town forum / celebration kickoff that was held by Mayor Turnier, you find yourselves on your way back to the Zephyr's Favor, as you have mentioned. Under one of your arms is a boat, supposedly in this long wooden box, and another one of you has a rather hefty sum of gold. As you wander back through the streets and head towards the Zephyr's Favor, you can hear already the raucous cheers, not raucous chores. That'd be a different situation. The raucous cheers of people just celebrating for the lack of monsters in the night, celebrating for justice done, or celebrating just for the sake of celebration. I mean, in many instances, people would be just glad to have another excuse to drink. And since everything is a bit more impromptu compared to other situations, while there aren't many stalls out, you can tell that there are already people going about trying to get some kind of festivity going. You can already see as you wander down the street and turn the corner to head towards the estate buildings, of which the Zephyr's Favor used to be among. The the Crow's Lament appears to have filed outside, and it's a good thing that it's a relatively sunny day, but they kind of head outside and clear a space as the guy who runs the place, Murktooth, comes out with what appears to be a big stick of chalk and is just kind of like gets to one point, leans down and begins drawing a big circle on the stone. And you can tell by the general disposition of the people in like watching this happen that there's a lot of excitement going around, and most of them seem to be the rough and tumble type, so you can probably infer that it's going to be a fighting circle of some kind. As you
My bad.
that's all right, that's okay. As you go about your business on the way up, like as you ascend a hill and can see a little bit of the town just on the way, you can already tell from the volume and the mixture of different musical instruments that are being played at different spots that perhaps it might be like short notice, but Sarcossa seems to be a place that knows how to party.
As we get closer to the Zephyr's favor, Hikan just keeps glancing over at that fight pit.
Maybe after we've put away our stuff.
I didn't say nothing. I
You
was waiting.
you were
I was
looking.
waiting.
Yes, you were, and that is excellent. Delayed gratification is a good thing. However, we will have time to do that. Yes, I'm not trying to stop you from doing it. Just time and place. There's going to be enough time, and there's definitely going to be a place here.
Well, then let's hurry up.
We have fighting pits at home.
The fighting pit at home is just a straw dummy with an arm missing. And
Yeah, darn it. Castletown can do so much better. But yeah, we'll probably just head into the building, put our stuff back. Did Mara join us for the
She was with me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she follows you all inside and kind of just puts a book and bag on the familiar desk that she's been sitting at for the most part during this little excursion, and kind of just well, I mean, it's eventful at the very least.
I was going to say, it is a lot.
I mean, everyone likes to have a good time, right?
True, but honestly, this kind of raucousness, it is not my idea of a good time.
I mean,
I'm more used to the balls and galas of the castle.
I also don't like those.
That's fair. They're not for everyone.
I barely know what that's like because I left halfway through.
It was terrible.
It wasn't.
Just gonna stare at you.
I will stare at you in equal intensity and raise one eyebrow.
I mean, I just spend most of my time in the library for the gala, so I'll take your word for it, depending on which word it is. I mean,
Well, what do you like to do? Do you like food? Do you like games? I'm sure somebody can set up a game. Cause like we could sit here, we could do the fight pit real quick, and then we can get away from the rough and tumble guys. I just want to go like the last time that I had a fight for fun, I beat up a bunch of guards. Sho was watching me. He said it was okay.
I
Okay.
wasn't I there?
I don't think so. I think it was Sho
No,
doing
it's-
his regular drills.
Yeah,
It was just Shonagan.
yeah, sure enough.
You guys went to the library, and then Hikan's like,
That's true.
books?
That's
Who reads
true.
books?
Ugh. Pleb.
The guy whose entire life's quest is to find some books.
A book, and I found it.
Just one.
Quest achieved.
Yay!
It's like, who needs book as he clutches the book of Medora?
Hmm.
It's not a book, it's a tome. But
It's called a book.
Zora says, well, I mean, to be honest, I've never really done much of the celebration thing. Like, I'm not much of a foodie, and I don't drink, so I just...
There's other things to do, like there's games. Sho and Renji did a shooting game at one point. It was scary, because the person put a target on a cuckoo.
Why would you do that?
It was above the cuckoo, it was that way the target could move to make it challenging.
Yeah, that was.
It's still a good... No, okay.
Yeah. There's
That's
also
why we
one-
had to aim very well.
Well, I hope you did.
We did. The cuckoo was unharmed.
We're still alive, weren't we? No, that
Yes.
wasn't in character.
Like, oh, can I make a like a nature check on how dangerous cuckoo are?
Sure.
That's an 11.
Okay. You've heard that cuckoos tend to be very kind of... Like, they don't like being held, even by people who have kept them for a very long time, but they will just kind of give up after a while. You know that they can peck pretty viciously, and you keep hearing stories that you don't want to piss off a group of them, because then it becomes dangerous. But, like...
Curious.
Yeah, there may be a couple of whispers here and there that say that only the truest and most hardened of experts of animal husbandry would ever deign to attempt to hold a cuckoo as a pet, let alone a means of producing food and or other materials for the sake of things.
Poor Chaplain Graves and Evie.
Yeah, I wonder what,
I'm sure Abby will be fine.
Yeah, everyone will be okay.
I did say Chaplain Graves at start.
Yeah.
I know.
There's some places also have like little games where you throw things and try to make it in holes. Sometimes they're bouncy balls. Other times they're little bags filled with like little things. There's all sorts of cool stuff to do at like festivity things. Some people have you throw rings to try to get it around something.
Well, in that regard, I'm willing to go along with you guys and see exactly what it is that happens at these kinds of things. But really, it's up to you.
Welcome to join us.
Well, yeah, I intend to, but again, it's your direction. And she kind of like puts both her hands up and says, "You go. What would you?
Okay.
What do you want to do?"
Okay.
Should we sort the stuff out first?
Yeah. And then I want to go fight somebody.
So how much does that money split to between us?
600 if since we're including Mara.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's 3,000 and there's 5 of us.
Like, I think we can put the gold in a bag of holding for now, and counting all that money is going to take a while. And
I mean, all that gold was still in the chest in Ziden's bag of holding, I believe.
oh, then yes, let's not worry about it just this moment, and have some fun.
How do bags of holding work?
You put stuff in, and they stay inside.
Well, how do you get back out?
You take them out.
Oh, okay. So Hikan walks over to Ziden's bag of holding, thinks of the chest, and pulls it out, opens it, empties all the gold back into the bag, reaches inside, thinks of 600 gold.
Does that work?
Fucking genius.
Yeah.
And I'll just do that and give everyone 600 gold.
I'm gonna just go look around and say, take a long time, huh?
This implies a internal sorting algorithm of a bag of holding.
Yeah.
We can make the bag of holding do math?
Yeah.
It's fucking magic.
Magic.
Okay, next we gotta input, Excel functions.
Yes!
That's what I just did.
I mean, speaking out of character, there's already people who are using the magic mouth spell for programming.
That's true. And I've heard of Demiplane using skeletons and zombies to compute things.
Yep. I
This
tried.
is amazing.
Necromancers go from being vilified to invaluable.
I saw
yeah.
that. I saw that whole kind of magic mouth processing thing, and I was like, okay. So I saw that, thought it was amazing, and then in the campaign that I think Rubber Pirate was running, where I was playing a wizard, I my wizard had the idea of telecommunications between guard posts because she was a guardswoman, and it's like.
Mhm.
Ah, that's so cool. Just going around with fucking demonstration kits and it's in the business suits,
Talking to the gnomes.
talking to the gnomes. Oh no. Oh dear.
Hunting necromancers in this economy? Good.
Okay. But yeah. When given a share, Mara will bow her head and say, "Oh, thank you. Thank you." And she kind of carefully puts it in her own bag of holding.
You helped out.
I mean,
Yeah, if we didn't have you, we would have probably not been able to translate that celestial logbook.
yeah. I mean, well, I guess that's
What I'm trying to say is thank you. You are an invaluable part of our team. That sounds corny. It's good that you're here. Darn it, usually I'm better at this.
It's fine, but thank you. I mean, I'll do what I can to help out.
I'm literally holding my mouth shut right now because I'm so tempted to have Mask ask if this is what flirting looks like.
In the alternate universe where Masks does ask, Hikan just shrugs.
Oh dear. Alright. So with that all sorted out, Mara says, okay, so, what now?
No. I go get some more money, and I start heading towards the fight pit.
So better go with him.
I think we better go with him, yeah.
Oh dear. Oh.
Make sure he doesn't accidentally kill anyone.
Mm,
Oh
I
man.
don't accidentally kill things. I do it on purpose.
Just in case.
Oh dear. Alright. So you make your way outside and you head down to the Crow's Lament. And you can see that there is already a throng of people that are standing around, presumably this rudimentary fight circle. The fight circle itself seems to be about 15 feet in diameter. It is not a spacious place. The crowd seem to be cheering and calling out for certain moves, like punch him, give him the chair. There is no chair, you blind twit. It's just going in that kind of direction. But eventually, as you kind of arrive and like peer through the crowd, you see there are a couple of people there. One of them is a very kind of wiry looking fellow, and he's like moving constantly in a circle around this other guy. He seems to be sporting a fairly swollen eye, but he's still going. And the other one is a much shorter, stockier individual, who's in contrast to this opponent, seems to kind of be holding his place and keeping a very cautious eye on his opponent. And you also see Murktooth is standing nearby, and he kind of just has like a pair of tea towels of 2 different colors. And as you're watching this happen, the wiry guy kind of feints to the left, hops to the right, and goes for a right hook, at which point the shorter man just parries it away with his arm, and in the same fluid motion just does a quick short thump into the guy's midsection. And the wiry guy just stumbles back, clutching his stomach. And there is a massive cheer as Murktooth holds up one of the colored tea towels, and the second guy just kind of like tries to stand straight again, stops, buckles over, and just kind of shakes his head. And Murktooth says, "And there we have a winner!" And there's a massive cheer. People throw up their arms, some of which have alcohol, so there's spillage everywhere. And the shorter guy just holds up his arms, and walks over to Murktooth, who kind of gives him a small pot of like a few silver pieces, and says, "Right. So who is going to be joining us in the fighting ring today?"
I approach Murktooth. So are there any rules or anything? Is it just like fists?
It is a point-based system, sir. You fight your opponent because people get very into the fighting, as it were. As said, it is a point-based system. It is the first to 5 points, or whoever relents first. So, if you can survive enough to get to 5 points, then you win. It's just to prevent people beating each other to death, no?
Okay, but like no weapons or things like that?
No weapons, no armor, just bare fists. Or feet.
I hand Max my taser stick.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, I'll hop in then, and I step into the circle.
Okay. And it's like a way, like it's very loud, possibly because they recognize who you are. And the shorter gentleman kind of turns around and says, all right, okay. And like rolls his neck, cracks his knuckles, and just gets back into the ring, and people are like, yeah! Murktooth kind of says, all right, settle down. Once again, for the benefit of the newcomers. And just because I like to hear my own voice, and there's like, yeah! The rules of this contest is as follows. A strike earns you a point if it successfully lands. If you get 5 points, you win. However, if you relent, if you yield, you lose. Whoever is last standing or the first to 5 points is the winner. In this corner, or part of the circle, we have current reigning champion. As you can see, as you may have seen, he is relentless. I present to you Relentless Rodney Roundhouse. And there's a massive cheer. It's like, yeah, woo, roundhouse, roundhouse, roundhouse.
Boo.
And like,
I do that with prestidigitation from.
there's like, as people cheer, there's already kind of like the faint jingling of coin, and it says, and then in this half of the circle, the newcomer, the fabled hero. I apologize, I did not get your name at the forum beforehand.
Hikan.
Hikan. We have high flying Hikan. There's another cheer. Yeah! Hikan, Hikan, Hikan. Fuck him up! It's from the back somewhere. And as you're kind of situated, now fighters, step forward and greet yourselves. In the meantime, spectators, place your bets. You have 30 seconds.
I'm definitely going to place 15 gold on Hikan.
Okay.
What's a bet?
It's an agreement with people that you think, like, the person who you're betting on is going to win, and if you're right, you get money.
Oh, okay. I'll do
It
that.
is.
Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome. All right. So as bets are going forward, it's usually in the range of like a couple of silver pieces, maybe an errant gold here or there. But as it stands, a lot of people are kind of it's even betting because they've seen Rodney just win, but they also know who Hikan is. So it's oddly 50-50 by this point.
What's the payout going to be?
Basically the payout is whoever. So there are 2 piles. Whoever wins, the people who win get basically their double their share back. However, the pot that goes towards the loser goes to the winner of the fight.
Okay.
Ziden will also bet 15 gold pieces on Hikan.
Okay, so it's 15 gold on
That's
Hikan.
a
Worry
lot
about
of yellow
silver
stuff.
stuff.
So the pot is now 50 gold or something,
You're welcome,
which
guys.
is 45 of us.
45 of you, and then an extra 5 gold from everyone else. Which point is I?
The high rollers over here.
Yeah.
Must be disheartening for his opponent.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Rodney kind of takes a couple steps towards you, Hikan, and puts a hand out and says, "Just so you know, mate, I appreciate what it is that you've done for our town, and I feel like it would be a disservice to someone as skilled as you are if I was to hold back in any way. So I'll try my best, and I expect you to do the same, sir."
Hikan takes his hand and just and smiles and nods, and I will do my best.
Smiles, gives your hand a bit of a reaffirming squeeze, and then lets go. And then after all the bets are taken in, mostly says, "Okay, we now have all the bets ready to go. It is time. Fighters, on your mark." Rodney kind of places his feet to either side, raises his fist in the classic pugilist style fashion. Spectators. Oh, go for it.
I was going to say Hikan just gets into just this basic fighting stance, which is I actually don't have a good visual comparison at the moment. If I find one, I'll start saying it then. But
That's all right. That's okay. And
Just pick a pose from Avatar.
yeah.
there are I think the best one would be probably close to Zuko at the beginning of the Agani Kais, where it's kind of like more sideways kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the motor says, "Spectators, are you ready to see a great fight?" Cheers everywhere. Raucous crowd as per the usual. And it says, "Commence!" And roll for initiative. We might as well do it for the basic sort of roll a d20 / roll.
Yeah.
And thing. That's a 19 for good old Rodney.
He goes first.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that's way too intense. I think I'm not sure I have any jovial fighting music. What is
Twilight Warrior.
Twilight
Rodney.
Warrior.
Fun.
What does this one sound like?
His pupils turn to squares. And
We found the
hands-
other Warlock. Wait, no.
This'll do. All right. So, as you're kind of like in kind of a pace with each other, Rodney's going to just analyze your movement slightly. He's going to take it slow. So for his first turn, his action is going to be the dodge action, as he's going to wait and see what it is that you intend to do.
Okay. All right.
And that's it. Can't really go anywhere. It's only a 15-foot circle.
Monk stuff. Really cool stuff. Stuff that doesn't apply here. Okay. Okay. So, since he's taking his time, Hikan's like, okay, I guess. And Hikan's going to go forward with 2 quick jabs to the core, where the biggest target is.
Okay, so that's with disadvantage because he's got the thing.
That's a 12 at disadvantage and a 21 at disadvantage.
Okay, so he weaves past the first one, but doesn't expect the second one, and manages to, like, you get a glancing blow across the side of his face, and he kind of staggers back a bit, at which point Murktooth raises the cloth on the side of which you started on, as the chair is like, yeah! So you got 1 point.
Okay. And then Hikan smiles and takes the dodge action as a bonus action with a keep point.
Okay. Awesome. Rodney, for his part, kind of like smiles back, gives a bit of a nod, and then sort of kind of maneuvers in a little closer before he himself like ducks lower to go for a strike of his own. So that would be... Well, that's a 12, probably doesn't hit your AC.
Nope.
There's
And a 17 because I took the dodge
Yeah.
bonus action. It's
Yeah.
not.
So neither of those hit. So it's... And you weave past him expertly. It's not even close. And then after he finds his attacks missing, he steps back a bit, and less defensively than before, of course. He resumes his position.
So Hikan sidesteps the hits, and as he steps back to get back into position, Hikan doesn't let up and then runs in for quick strikes, 26.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like. No. That's not okay. Not in a fight like this. That's not okay. And then 20. I was thinking about stunning him.
Yeah.
So 2 more hits, and then I'm going to use a key point to do flurry of blows to do 2 more quick strikes.
Okay.
16
That's a hit.
and a 20.
20. That's a hit. So it's like within, like as he resets, actually, you just step to the side and it's like, and there's like he staggers back and like falls back into the crowd behind him, and he just seems absolutely stunned. At which point, Merc2 says, "We have a winner!" and like raises your raises your flag. There's a yeah.
Prestidigitation, we love you!
Since he's probably still stumbling, I will go over and then offer him my hand to pull him back to his feet, so he has his balance again.
He kind of pulls us up and like shakes his head. Oh, blimey! Oh, well, I did say you shouldn't hold back. I should have expected that. Oh man! All right, but that was.
If he took the actual damage for this hit, he'd be very, very dead.
He'd be very hurt.
Yeah.
He
26, 34, 41.
That's almost enough. That's almost enough to knock me out, and I'm a level 7 character.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, he kind of like shakes his head. He still looks a bit woozy, but he says, "Well, good fight. I can certainly see how you did what you did."
Yeah, it was still fun to not have to do it and just do it for a little bit of fun. Thank you, but that's all I'm gonna do today.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I need to sit down myself. And he kind of offers a hand out to shake again, as a kind of good game sort of thing.
I will shake his hand.
Yeah. And then he kind of like maneuvers back into the crowd, possibly to find his shirt. And Merktooth comes up to the rest of you and is like, well, can't say that was, well, if you to wait a moment, I need to go back into the bar to get the rest of your winnings. Don't
worry.
Yeah, usually the pot is enough, but he kind of just heads back inside, and then comes back out.
As soon as he leaves, since he's got to go count stuff, Hikan stands right where he was and then starts another fight. like with other people.
Hikan?
Doing the exact same thing that he did.
Hikan, how would you feel to... Same rules.
What, you and me?
Yeah, why not?
Alright. Hikan will get away from where Merktooth was, get back in the circle, and then face Renji.
I will start taking off my cloak, putting my shield down, and starting to.
Off your cloak. Okay, I will take off my cloak too.
And because I have to take off my armor. And few minutes.
I will help him.
Then, yeah. I now have an armor class of 12.
I'm in danger. This is fair.
I'm in danger.
My lowest
But
roll.
I do have bonus action dodge every time.
Is it against the rules of these fights to turn into a bear?
I would assume so.
That would be natural weapons.
I'm just gonna take a guess that magic would be banned.
I was just kind of standing there watching all this, like, huh.
To be fair,
Max
Renji and Hikan are the same age.
Yeah.
Max kind of has the same face right now. But I don't get it, but okay.
Murktooth comes back outside and he provides you with his winnings only to see that you're halfway getting your armor off. And he's like, are you stepping into the ring?
Well, I'm going to.
He wants to fight me, so I said okay.
Oh.
If that's okay with you, it's probably not. Like if you want people to bet, I would suggest betting on him. But yeah.
Okay. Sure. What is your Renji? Am I right?
I am Renji, correct.
Okay. Renji Hikan. Alright. And he maneuvers himself back to where he was standing, and the crowd kind of converges again, and he says, ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, admittedly, we have a battle of heroes, as it were. Once again, in this side, we have high-flying Hikan, and there's another cheer. And then he says, and in this side, his companion, and also, no doubt, a powerful individual. I present to you, Ravaging Renji, and there's another, yeah, and bets begin to be taken.
DM.
Yes.
Question.
Yes.
Would it be possible to turn my Twilight weapon into a ring, and therefore I get to attack twice?
I mean, you'd get to attack twice anyway.
No.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot.
It's the weapon that do it.
That's a question, because a ring isn't necessarily a weapon.
No. But like, brass knuckles would be.
It would be
But
brass knuckle
that
would
would
be,
be
but it would be obvious.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not sure how you get away with that.
I would want to turn it into like a broad ring.
Closest thing that I get's hand wraps, because like boxers, the rest will wrap their hands and then.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, because it's based on his Twilight energy, it's gonna glow black pixels and stuff. So.
True.
Like, it's not a terribly subtle effect.
True.
In the metaverse, Hikan silently prays, "I'm sorry, Mr. Harvester, for the beating your ward is about to receive."
Oh no. Yeah, I'd say like I probably would have to have a think about it, but I would also say that it's probably not subtle enough for people not to raise eyebrows. It's like, why is his hands glowing, sort of thing.
Hikan is also aware of things that you can do. He just doesn't know how much of it's magic.
Would it be possible for prestidigitation to like take away some sort of magical effect?
I think you'd need something more like minor illusion.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
That thing Max has, but isn't going to use to help you.
No, that's fair. That's completely fair.
You may just have to rough it.
Mm-hmm.
You're in there now.
This the first time you actually see Renji just wearing like an undershirt. I've always been in armor for the time you know me.
Well, except at the gala, where you had some fancy schmancy clothes.
We did have the fancy schmancy clothes, but this is like just
Yeah.
plain.
Casual, Renji.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Casual Renji.
I understand the name Ravaging Renji now. Okay, I look over at Hikan and remembering some of my, like, Sheikah upbringing, I place my hands to the sides and respectfully bow.
Hikan will do the same.
And then I will raise my fists.
Okay. And seeing the two of you ready in such a fashion, Merchie says, "Okay, the bets have been made, and begin." So roll your initiatives.
16.
4.
I'm sorry, Mr. Harbinger. Harvester.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hamburger.
Yes, Hikan. I'm sorry, Mr. Hamburger, for the beating he's about to receive. Hikan, without missing a beat, just at begin, just runs over and just flurry of blows into Renji. So first hit, 13.
That hits.
Okay. Would you like to make a con save for me, please?
Oh my god!
I'm your friend! 8.
You're stunned.
Ugh.
14. Natural 20.
Ow.
And 18.
All hits.
I don't know how much of your
3
stuff
of them
is
would have
magic.
failed. 3 of them would have failed.
Oh no!
It's going well.
So it's literally just Hikan runs up at begin and then just socks Renji in the stomach really hard.
So that's 6, 14, 26, 36 points of damage.
In the crowd, Max flinches and gets like a white knuckle grip on the zappy stick.
I mean, like if that was damage, yes, but at this point, it's just it's like the little knuckle taps, like from Tylee from Avatar,
Oof.
just like ta 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 ta.
I am stunned.
Yep.
Yeah,
Ugh.
So
until the end of my next turn.
Yes.
25. So I just tap
Yes.
Frenchie on the shoulder for the last one. No, just like hand on the shoulder, like gentle pat.
and this over much faster than the previous one. It goes from 0 to 100 in the span of moments, and like as the last hit is drawn, Murktooth just kind of raises the tea towel again. It's like, and we have a winner again. And it's like,
Ow.
there's a cheer, but there's a part of it which is a bit of like an essence of confusion among the crowd. And it's like, yeah, like that.
I imagine Randy's just like, oh shit, he held back.
He could have done that. He could have done that this whole time. But
See, like if I could have done one bonus action, I would have negated 4 of those attacks. 4 of the 5.
I know what you were planning. I know what you were on about.
Yeah. Well done.
It's okay, Renji. Nice even breaths. Don't worry about taking them deeply. And
as the
like
stun,
rubbing your
like-
back.
Oh man. You know, I'm trying to use the things that I've learned from my dad, like by observation, doesn't really work that well just yet.
Well, what we can do is we can get a bit of practice in the mornings, because you know how I do my kata thing. You can just to get into the motions, not for any serious things.
Fair enough.
Take some breaths. Have a sit.
I didn't consider this to be a serious fight. I just thought we'd have a bit of fun. Oh, my ribs.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do your tricks.
What tricks?
I don't know.
I
don't know how much of it's Sheikah stuff and how much of it's magic things.
I wasn't going to use magic.
Now I feel
People
bad.
will freak out. Also, I don't want, like, the thing I get my powers from to figure, like, out what I'm doing.
Next time, lead with the fun, not serious part.
I thought, like, we could have... never mind.
'Cause, yeah.
Well fought? How can you hit me 5 times in, like, a second?
Practice.
I prefer... I will keep 2 rapiers.
I think Sho can do it too.
Oh, please, no.
I think your dad might be able to, but I don't know.
I think he's more of a hit once, ask questions never.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, whatever that means.
Are you okay?
No.
I reach into Renji's bag of holding and grab his water skin. Take a drink.
I think I need a stiffer drink after this.
I'm gonna hand the Sappy stick back now.
Thank you, Max. Hikan's really sheepish and feels really bad.
Ziden, Max, did you bet on anyone?
That time, no.
No.
Could have made some quick money.
Didn't really have the time.
I mean, who's gonna, take a bet when we're a team? That would be stupid.
I bet on Hikan.
It would have been profitable.
Well, say I put 20 on Hikan, and then everyone's just gonna go, "Oh, you rigged it."
I mean, but I already put money on Hikan last round.
Yeah,
Fighting.
but we're part of a group, and
Yeah.
some people could have been mad. Not that I think that they would have done anything about it. But people would have been mad.
Murktooth
So
does.
in the morning, get Renji up. Got it.
Murktooth comes over and taps you on the shoulder. Hikan says, "Well, you have done 2 fights thus far. I'm not sure if anyone else would be willing to fight you. So
It's okay. Thank you, Mr. Murktooth.
no worries. For the moment, here," and he provides you with a pile of cash, which accumulates to about 5 gold pieces. Like as is the way, you have won the pot of those who bet against you. Yeah. And he says, "Well, I should get back to it. Festivities and everything. Thank
Still,
you.
both of you, both Renji and Max made 15 gold though. That's not bad.
Huzzah!
Yeah." And Murktooth kind of bows and then lumbers back over to the circle where 2 new, fresh opponents stand and prepare to face each other.
Okay, coming forward now that Hikan's left.
But yeah, so Mara says, "Well, that was exciting. What do you... What's the
For a
plan
moment. Drinks?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. The drinks where?
Let's go see if we can find one. We go up to we can go up towards the Sarcossa Inn to see if Thickets put anything out.
Yep.
And see if
Wouldn't
there's
mind seeing
anything
it.
interesting on the way. Hikan has not stopped rubbing Renji's back this entire time.
It's okay. I think I'll be fine. Thank you.
Just making sure getting the wind knocked out of you is not a pleasant experience.
I will take a bit of a rest after some drinks. I'll be fine.
Max has decided that he definitely should not ever do this fight bit thing.
Ziden will only do this fight bit if he's allowed to turn into a bear.
I would fight Bear Ziden in a heartbeat.
Maybe later.
There wouldn't be any room in the fight pit. You take up like 10 feet of that 15-foot space.
All I need is
So
5
I
feet.
automatically win by knockout? Or ring out?
Maybe?
It's a 15-foot space. All I need is 5.
Oh, then I'll go for the giant elk instead. Ring out!
I will get on the elk.
But yeah, so you maneuver up through Sarcossa, where you see a bunch of people are standing outside their shops trying to sell their wares. For the most part, there are a couple of people who have kind of set up very rudimentary things. There's closer to the docks, just as you kind of leave that area, you see what appears to be a pair of Gorons who are just like they've got on either side of the street a chalk line, and behind one of them is like a pile of boxes, and they look fairly hefty. And one of the Gorons looks at you as you pass and say, "Hey, heroes!" And the other one says, "Oh, them, right. Hi, did you want to have a go at our little carnival game here? It's a little ramshackle, but we enjoy it."
Sure.
Oh.
Can't explain.
Okay, right. I mean, you all look fairly strong as it is. Behind us over here, and he gestures to the pile of boxes, which all seem fairly uniform in their way. He says, "These boxes are just filled with stones and other things just to weigh them down a bit. The idea is that you have to, without using magic," and he winks at you, says, "you have to, within a time limit of roughly 30 seconds, you have to move as many of those boxes from this side of the street to the other side of the street. And you get a prize based on how much you move."
Seems like labor? No, thank you.
Ah. Oh,
By
well.
this time, I have already put on a tunic and put my armor in the bag of holding.
Is there a crowd coming? Like, around the Gorons, or did they literally just get set up?
They literally just got set up.
Ziden, could I see the immovable rod real quick?
Ziden will hand over the immovable rod again.
I will do the same thing that I did for the show, but instead of doing a handstand, I will stand on top of the immovable rod.
Mm.
So that way I'm like 14 feet in the air. And then I'll just shout out, test your strength, move the heavy boxes, win a prize, really loudly.
Oh, okay. Roll performance.
I have, yes. I have
Yeah.
proficiency in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 19.
Woo. With a 19, you manage to draw quite a crowd. There are a lot of people who kind of come over and have a look at the two Gorons, just then immediately like tend to the crowd, and one of them turns around and says, "Hey, thanks, pal. Are you sure you don't want to go at all? I mean, you seem fairly strong."
No, I'm not a heavy lifter. I'm more of a fast type of person, but I do appreciate it. But I figured that since you guys are putting this on for us, you all can have fun with your games and have more
I'll
people
do it.
coming by.
What?
Oh,
Never
Okay.
done one of these games before. May as well do one, I guess.
okay. Watch the mighty Max Might Wind move the heavy boxes.
Please stop that.
Oh, sorry.
Yay, Max might win.
Please
Please stop.
Okay. So, let's get this started. And the other...
Max almost rolls up his sleeves and then stops himself and goes, "I'm beating you down."
So, while one Goron kind of moves people out of the way in order to get this one started, the other one says, "Okay, so, as said, 30 seconds. As many of those boxes over there as you can. Okay?" Right. 3, 2, 1, go. Give me...
strength checks.
Give me an athletics check.
Yay.
Ah!
I just try pushing it and it doesn't really move anywhere.
Yeah, you kind of push the first one. It feels like it is of a weight that you are probably able to lift, but it is boy is it heavy.
Yeah.
And you
That
don't
natural one.
you don't manage to get it over to the other side of the street. Give me another one.
This time I pick it up.
Yeah, this
With a natural 20.
time you're like, fuck it, and just kind of
Just pick it up and throw it.
throw it, poof, and then it lands on the other side of the street with a loud thunk, and you're like, you know what, fuck it again, poof, in the same time. And you manage to get a couple of these boxes over to the other side of the street, and there's like a this one Goron just kind of has the expression of, did I just get fucking sharked? And it's like, give me another one.
So 19.
Yeah, much of the same story. You pick up another one, it's kind of a mixture of like picking up and carrying it and maybe getting halfway before throwing it and then running back to get another one, and it goes fairly well. Give me 2 more.
Okay. So 5 and a 12.
Okay. So with as you kind of get into the rhythm of it, one of them you just go to pick up, and this one's significantly heavier than the other ones. You just no, and you kind of you don't break anything, but you spend a lot of time like trying to test the weight of the remaining boxes as you move them. But eventually you get like one more over, and then there's the Goron just says, "And time!" At which point you get he kind of like totters over and has a look at the boxes and says, "Okay, all right. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 5 boxes. 5 boxes of freight moved over to the other side of the street. That brings you a grand prize." And he disappears briefly behind, like, he comes back over the other side, disappears briefly behind the pile of remaining boxes, and comes back around and says, "A premium Death Mountain Goron care package. Mainly because we haven't had anybody get 5 before." And he provides you with this big, heavy leather bag, roughly the size of a basketball.
Okay. We'll look inside.
Oh, yeah. Inside, you see several other smaller leather bags, and a couple of flasks. And there's this mixture of aromas that come from this bag. One of them is like a mixture of a barbecue-y kind of a smell and a sulfurous-y kind of smell that makes you a touch dizzy.
Thank.
It's not Goron rot, is it?
Alright, you'll have to see.
Do we smell the dongo jerky? Because we ate that.
Hikan, does this smell familiar?
Hikan is lightly clapping while still on the immovable rod.
Yeah. There is a light applause as one of the Gorons goes over to fetch the boxes from the other side of the street. Taking a bit of a whiff there, it does smell, the barbecue smell does smell familiar in the sense that it does smell like Dodongo jerky. It's just a sulfurousy smell that you presume comes from the flasks. It's a little bit hard to place.
We can find out later.
Yeah.
Hikan will hop down on the immovable rod, push the button, and give it back to Ziden.
Excellent. With your prize in tow, you continue onwards. And while there aren't many things in regards to carnival games, you do see a couple of food sellers who are standing outside their shops. Ziden, there is indeed a person who sells something on a stick.
Unintelligible things on a stick are great.
It's a thing, and it's on a stick.
Yeah.
Ziden will buy 7.
Buy 7 things that are on sticks.
Has anyone like fried dough, like funnel cake or anything like that?
Make a perception check.
Absolutely. Ooh, 20.
Nice. You have a look around. You do see some people who are selling like it's amongst other baked goods, but there are indeed things of like fried dough, hot buns, that sort of thing. Mainly from one of the local bakeries who are just kind of putting things out on tables outside their shop. In regards to the things on sticks, you buy 7. That costs you a grand total of like 5 silver pieces, and they're all a variety of different shapes, but they're all covered in the same sort of bronze-colored sticky substance. So it's like candied something, but they're arranged in the way of like a kebab, like a shish kebab. So it's you're not sure what exactly they are, but they must be edible. Otherwise, this guy would be in serious trouble. And as for the fried dough stuff and the pastries and everything, most of it is within a realm of like a couple copper pieces, maybe a couple silver pieces. Depends on what you get, really.
So generally, and I don't know if it's the same over there, but it's kind of like it looks kind of like a netted piece of fried dough, and they sprinkled powdered sugar on it, kind of thing. And it's kind of like a cakey type of dough, kind of somewhere between like a. It's somewhere between like a baked cake and a donut in consistency. It's funnel cake over here. It's fair foods kind of thing. But it's pretty easy to make. I was going to buy one for Mara. You tear it apart. You can dip it into either more sugar or a cream-based thing or something like that.
Okay.
I like that people keep inventing more ways to kill me.
Oh dear. But yeah, you do manage to find something of that variety, and that sets you back like a silver piece.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. And then I will tear a bit off and then eat it that way, so Mara knows how it's normally consumed, but she has the majority of it.
She kind of takes her. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
And she smiles a bit, and she doesn't eat it immediately. She kind of just holds on to it for a bit, as you guys maneuver through town, eventually finding yourselves at the Sarcossa Inn, where good old Thicket runs the place. And as you head inside, you see it is abuzz with activity. And as the doors open, people turn to you, and the couple of them is like, "Hey!" like raise their drinks, recognizing the heroes of Sarcossa as they enter. But then they don't like stand up to try and ask questions. They just kind of busy themselves. with their conversation and just enjoying the time together. And Thicket, who's standing on the bar, is in the midst of taking orders from various people who are there with him.
I like this crowd.
I just breathe out aside because it's a bit quiet.
Why don't we get some drinks?
Okay. What would people like? I can get it if everyone else wants to have a sit.
Something that'll make me feel better.
Like numb better, or
Less numb, more buzz.
okay.
I'll just stick with water.
Okay. Water, something that'll make you feel better. Looks to Ziden.
Beer? Ale?
Beer or ale or whatever they got, okay. And then he looks to Mara.
You know, I think I'm okay for a drink at the moment, but thank you.
Okay. And Hikan will then wait for Thicket to have a moment, either getting in line or otherwise.
Eventually, Thicket does have some spare time. He turns to you and says, "Oh, hey, welcome back. How are things? Enjoying your time?"
So far, how's everything here?
Busy. I have to. I mean, I've got other staff around, and he kind of points to various people who are indeed maneuvering places. So it's like, so I'm not by myself, but yeah,
Good.
it's a busy day. But anyway, what can I get you guys?
I need a water and a beer or ale, something kind of standard. And then if you have one, I would like a bottle of cinnamon whiskey and 2 shot glasses.
Cinnamon whiskey, shot glasses. I think I can do something like that. Sure. I'll let you know how much you owe at the end of the night. I'll be with you in a second. And he hops off the counter and disappears into the back kitchen. And after a few moments, he comes back and he provides you with a standard wooden flagon of ale, of the Masro mead sort of variety. It's this very kind of it's an ale, but it has a kind of buttery taste to it, which is like it has a buttery sort of aftertaste to it, depending on how you feel about that. And there is also a cup of water, and there is a kind of like the bottle the bottle itself is a bit ruddy, as if it's been stored somewhere for a while. But it does have kind of this label on the front that says King's Ward Cinnamon, and it looks fairly fancy. Probably would be fancier if it was new. And with it are a pair of shot glasses. And he slides that tray onto the counter and says, "There you go. Enjoy. Let me know if I can get you anything else."
Of course, thank you, Thicket. And then I will take the tray over to the table that everyone else is sitting at.
Okay. Bring it over. You provide everybody with their drinks. There is a pleasant, energetic atmosphere that goes on as you sit, and while there isn't a bard by any stretch of the imagination, there is certainly just a lot of conversation. And like, the thing that stands out beyond the whole kind of talking about how cool it must have been that there was like fighting and stuff, or like, you know, genuine adventurers and heroes have stopped by in town and slain some actual monsters and whatnot, there's an air of hope about it. Like this mire has been lifted from these people's lives. That this just feels like the weight has been lifted from the shoulders of all the people within Sarcossa, and it just seems significantly tangible as you sit and let their conversations be the background noise to your time here. But yeah, so do you do anything specifically? Do you bring up any conversations specifically as you sit and enjoy your drinks?
I first drink a lot.
As Hikan was pouring the first shot and then passing it to Renji, with the energy of hope kind of surrounding it, Hikan goes, you might not have gotten the answers like you wanted yesterday, but regardless of that, I think it's days like today or situations, places like this that make it a bit worth more than just what we can get,
I actually did get some answers yesterday. We're 1/3 on our way of defeating the cartel.
How'd you figure that?
Had a bit of a talk with the guy, and I twirl a appearing twilight dagger between my fingers and
Okay, I
make it
need a
disappear.
reminder. Have you told Max about that stuff yet?
Have I
Because
told Max
Don't
about
think
this
you
stuff yet?
have.
I think I think the only person that you've talked about it with is your family.
And
Didn't I
Ziden,
mention-
because Ziden
and Ziden,
seems to have
yes.
figured it
Oh,
out.
inside.
Ziden seems to have figured it out.
So Max is just doing like,
Okay.
you have a magic dagger?
Yeah. I look over at Max and then say, "You get your magic from within." And then I
Right.
turn to Ziden
Okay.
and I say,
Just like, kind of.
"Yeah. So I did some digging, and you know that the way Fairwind signed his missive, Dawn.
Hmm.
There's a dusk and a midnight.
Okay.
And I think we need to figure out.
So your magic dagger knows that?
It's not the dagger. I'll explain later,
Okay.
but I will explain.
Right.
I think with the way we are being menaced by this cartel, I think we need to set up something that will make them worry. Something like Mayor Turnia asked us. A group that can stand against the corruption, the evil that is now plaguing our country.
Are we already doing that?
Yeah, we are. But we've only just stepped out in the open with it.
Hmm.
And I don't think it's a good idea, nor do I think it is fair, if this is just like the Vox task force or anything. We need to figure out a name for us, and like, well, mostly Sheikah, we deal with, well, magic in most forms. I think nowadays we can all do like lightning stuff. I was thinking about something like Eye of the Storm.
It's a bit long.
Yeah.
How does Renji wear his cloak? Is it like over the shoulder or is it behind?
It is mostly behind, but it is tailored to fit over his right shoulder.
And the Sheikah symbol that's on it, is it like over the shoulder itself?
No, it's on the back.
Oh, well, shit.
Why?
Oh, it was going to be word association. I can't
Okay.
play that off, so.
Then I have draped my cape over my my chair.
Eye of the Storm. Storm. And then he sees the eye and he goes, Storm's eye? Maybe?
That's shorter.
Yeah.
Snappier.
Cause, yeah, I guess that does make sense. Because my stick turned into a lightning bolt like Max makes, and then you two do the whole kaboom step thing, whatever that is.
I'm trying to make it a bit more multifunctional, but yes.
And
Oh, she'll know to get us on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I suppose that works.
Storm's Eye. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. Storm's Eye. Mara takes out a book and a pencil and just writes it down in the book.
It's official now.
I guess it is.
Mara wrote it down, that makes it official.
That does make it official. Well, I'll put it in my my notes and the letter that I'm going to send to my father when we can.
Okay.
And as Hikan's kind of thinking about things that Renji said, he remembers Fairwind's report. Mr. Fairwind wrote down that his supplier might have been on Snowhead. I don't know much about different places in the world that's over to the east. But Snowhead was also in the letter from Risha's father.
I guess it wasn't that bad of an idea for you to get that letter then.
Well, we returned it, so we don't have it as whatever that word is, but I don't know. Is there any way that you can have somebody take a look up there if you tell your dad what's going on?
Probably. Still take a while to get there, but yeah. I
Well,
think so.
we wanted to go to Drumneck Town to see if Flamgo was still there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I don't know what you got me, but this stuff isn't really great. I still feel the same. And I take another swig.
Is the same bad?
You get beaten up by him and let me know.
Okay.
Hikan looks at it.
Said I can improve this.
And then Hikan sits there and pours himself a shot, and then downs the shot. It tastes the same. It just doesn't affect us, right?
Yeah, you still
I would think
have
so, yeah.
2 weeks of sobriety ahead of you.
Yeah.
just sitting there like something's fucky.
Generally, but it still has the
burn.
warm burning taste of. So Hikan sits there. No, tastes right. And I figured that you'd like it because of the palate thing. That's a fancy word that I don't think you'd know because of the taste thing.
Hikan
takes another shot.
The taste is pretty good. It's just I have had different things.
Hikan takes another shot.
You okay? That seems like
Give it a second.
a bit much.
Hikan panic takes another shot.
Friend, are you okay?
That's a awful lot of alcohol.
Hikan grabs the bottle.
No, whoa.
Oh, okay.
Calm down. Use your words.
Hikan?
Something should happen.
Yes, I think you should be cut off by now.
Fine, you do it. And he just shoves the bottle into Renji's hand.
Whoa,
Uh,
I pour another, shot
Yeah.
down it. Okay. It doesn't...
Fine. Hikan pours a shot, hands it to Ziden.
Ziden stares at the shot. And stares at Hikan.
Please.
You've probably been cursed, you know.
It's just fantastic bedside manner, that. It's just great. It's just...
Oh, no. Is this,
You
Have
know
we
that meme comic where the guy is really excited to share information and then the person that's walking off panel tells him something that's just disheartening, and the last panel is just them next to a bottle of alcohol looking down very haunted?
Yeah.
That's Hikan right now.
So, what, you can't get drunk?
I seem to be having difficulty with that, and it seems that... Hikan has had more practice with alcohol than I have, to be fair, but that was an excessive amount.
That's a lot.
Hikan, I have an idea. There's people having celebrations right now. We should find a drinking competition.
You got mad at me because I didn't hold back, and now you want me to cheat in a competition.
I wasn't mad at you. I was just surprised. If you had given me 2 seconds, it would have been different. But
You know, just because you can't get drunk doesn't mean you can't get alcohol poisoning.
That's true.
In fact, it's probably worse.
uh,
Tell how far along you are. Can Ziden attempt to cast Dispel Magic on Hikan?
Sure. Give it a shot.
That seems mean.
Hiding. Well, it'll make him maybe be able to drink again.
You can't roll a Constitution save.
Instantly super
Oh no!
drunk.
Oh no!
Hey, 12.
Suddenly, the room doesn't seem to be flat anymore. It's kind of like breathing. Your speech is a touch.
There it is.
Wait,
Ziden
hold
nods
on.
happily, says problem solved, and goes back to drinking his own drink.
Hikan gives Ziden a really big, happy drunk hug.
I'm gonna move the bottle away from Hikan further.
Good idea, Max. Good idea.
Just in case.
Yes.
Also, Ziden, please don't do that to me.
Yo, do it to him.
No, no. Go home. You're
said,
drunk.
he said he wanted something to help. It didn't help. You make it help.
No, no. I'd rather have the throbbing pain from my ribs than the amount of alcohol, like the drunkenness that I'm going to experience if you do
You
that.
had
Please
half as much as I did. You'll be fine.
I've had that amount, which is too much for me.
You've had Goron rot. This is
I
nothing.
passed out the first moment.
It's nothing.
Silent, please just don't, okay? Not now. Maybe tonight.
Hikan gives like unfocused puppy dog eyes.
Maybe, like, if you maybe later when you don't have to carry two people back to
Yeah.
somewhere.
I can still walk. Give me a second to adjust and I'll be fine. I've done this before. I've fought like this before.
Well, I am not particularly in the business of going against people's wishes.
Thank you.
I thought this was just, what Hikan would want.
Thank you, Ziden.
To be fair,
Ziden, you're
Seems
such
likely.
a good listener.
You say that as Zaiden's like half asleep most of the time.
You listened to him last night when he had his weird dream.
Siden's trances just take longer.
You
He does
think
he does the Gandalf thing where he sleeps with his eyes open.
Oh dear. But yeah, as kind of sitting down discussing this, Mar says, I mean, if we're heading to Drumnick Town anyway, wouldn't, I mean, part of what we were sent out here to do as part of the task force thing was to find information about the, about whatever it was that killed the king, or what organized the killing of the king. But while we got the organization, we didn't really get much in regards to, like, motive or stuff.
So you're right, we should go to Snowhead.
Well, and she kind of, like, slinks back in a chair a bit.
I'm not going to say no.
But, I mean,
Drumnick was suggested because of that bird bastard.
Hmm.
Yes.
He had one of these, and he pulls out the knife
Oh, no.
with the symbol on it and just puts it on the table.
I'm going to confiscate that.
Good idea.
He had that symbol as he's like pointing, following it with his finger as Max slowly drags it away.
Uh-huh. We know.
Yeah. He went towards Drumnick. Unless Bruno lied. Did Bruno lie to us?
Pretty sure it was.
Oh goodness, I hope not.
You look too afraid to lie.
Yeah, he knows what happens if he lies and we figure it out.
Suddenly spiders.
He's not going to be safe anywhere.
Good.
I like to think anytime he sees a spider, he thinks we're watching.
Every single spider is another one of your eyes.
So I says, well, we have options before us. I mean, the plan is Drumnick to find whoever this person is, then, I mean, did you want to go back to Hyrule Castle Town first, or did you want to go straight to Drumnick, or?
I don't see a reason to go back to Castletown right now.
Okay. Okay. Drumnik is
Okay.
our next destination.
How we get there?
We have horses, or we have a boat.
Horse.
I-
Horse is such a good horse.
Are we going to get anything useful out of him right now?
No, so it's plenty useful for me.
Thank you, Max.
I mean,
No, but
Fair.
seriously, how we get there? There's like lots of ways.
Probably can't fit the horses on that boat.
oh, we should definitely try it out first, and I'm sure we can have people here teach us the ropes, show us the ropes literally, just for a moment, and then we can decide whether or not the boat is big enough.
If we're not going back to Castletown, we'll have to get supplies here.
True.
Okay.
What we need?
Looks out
Make
the
a list
window.
right now.
Yes, it looks out the window. I can probably wait till tomorrow.
True.
What we need? We can make a list right now.
Fine.
Marv takes a pencil and a spare sheet of paper. What do you guys have that you might be short on?
Rations.
Well, if we're in a trade town, we could actually finally sell some of all these piles of loot we've been gathering.
True. I have some gems. Had that bar of metal that I procured in the warehouse.
Maybe we can
I
find
have
something
all
that can
that.
work with that. Oh yeah, all that stuff. Spices,
I thought you gave
spices, gems, bagpipes.
I thought you gave the bagpipes of annoyance to Uriel.
I think we talked about it, and I said something like, we gave a price, and I said, I'll check with my allies whether or not we want to sell this.
And then we never went back.
And then you guys never checked. Okay, that is fair.
Yeah.
Barrel of ale.
None of us are barbarians, so we don't need it.
Yeah.
Hello, Hikan's right there.
He seems more refined, right?
It's something to drink.
It's
Little
it's
column
the,
A, little column B.
it's the drinking equivalent of junk food.
But yeah.
If I remember correctly, the barrel of ale came from a dungeon. Which is why I was told not to drink it.
Who knows? It might be a good poison by now.
Okay.
Or at least a vinegar.
Yeah.
So, judging by the distances that you've got, Mara suggests that it will probably take at least 3 days on foot. It may be 2 days by boat. But they're roughly the same distance, like physically. If you were to follow the road, if you were walk as the crow flies, it might not take as long. But it's
Also, we need the time to learn how the boats work.
yeah.
And I believe would be going upriver.
Yes, it would.
Which is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
How is it difficult? We got like
There's
more
these
than
things-
2 magic peoples.
I've heard there's these things called currents. I can't do anything
Yeah.
about those.
No, but there is a
Well, damn.
sail on it, I believe.
So if we're lucky enough to have winds going inland.
Or it's going to be a lot of...
Rowing.
Yeah.
Well, damn. And I don't think we can get a bunch of people to row. Maybe we could. I don't know. I don't even know how a boat works.
We should figure
It's
that
a
out.
box. How's a box turn into a boat?
Magic.
That makes sense.
I love how so many of your questions can be answered with a single word.
Yeah.
It's
He
magic.
he has very little understanding of magic.
Max knows it's magic, but he doesn't know like how it works at all.
So wait, magic can turn a box into a boat, but it can't make currents go the other way? That's lame.
You have to know what to do with it, I guess.
And like, that would be currents going up the entire river. That's a long distance. That would take some high-level magic, I think.
It's like how Renji can make his magic daggers, but I can't.
Magic's complicated.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, I suppose it won't cost too much in order to afford, at the very least, food supplies for the rest of the journey.
We might be able to, if we do go boat, we might be able to hire someone to drive it for us.
B.
Possible. We definitely have the funds for
What if we
it.
didn't take the road? What if we went straight to Drumnik?
A lot of uncharted territory. Can be dangerous.
I'm okay with dangerous, but not sure if everyone else is.
I feel like our group would be fine.
I mean, it's up to you. I'll trust your guidance.
Guys, if that's faster, then we don't need to hire it.
Yeah,
We-
exactly.
Yeah. It'll take about this. Okay, yeah. That might be faster. And then maybe we can run into him. Maybe.
Maybe.
Definitely gonna need some more camping supplies.
Okay. If we're going by land, we'll probably still be taking the horses, so feed for the horses. Yeah? Mm-hmm.
If something does happen, I know I can help find food.
There's
Yeah.
always good berries.
That'll be
That
useful
too.
if we bring those drakes with us.
It might take a while for them to train beyond just being okay with us being.
Hmm. Don't really know what to do with them.
Well,
What do you want to do with them?
I don't know.
Well,
Well,
I
I
mean-
don't know if we would be the best pet keepers. Presumably, there would be someone who would know how to get them a better home here.
well, that's another thing as well. We've been offered a building. What do we do with that?
Good question. Because, well, my instincts are telling me we can do interesting things with the building, but I don't have a concrete idea on what to do with it exactly. I think the best idea we can do is give it to local government here. Ask my attorney to look after it or do with it what she thinks is best.
Okay.
Hmm.
Or maybe you rent it out to her if for a reasonable price. Like, we're not going to do anything with it, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't know how often we're gonna be here.
mhm.
Well, the only other thing I can think of for the dogs or the drakes, sorry,
No worries.
maybe the
They're basically dogs.
maybe the town guard would be able to make use.
Yeah. Have a good central spot within the docks to patrol from.
Hmm.
They're fairly okay scent. Okay. Alright, and she's writing all this down as you go. And
You can't did say to make a list.
yes. Okay. So I've got a list of basic supplies that I think we might need, but that depends on what we all have in our inventories going forward. If we're planning on hiking across wilderness, then we're probably gonna want to we'll probably want to prepare for stuff like that, but I think most part we should be okay. I think it's just woodlands in that direction. As for other things, the building will just we'll talk to Mayor Turnier about it. The guard drakes, the guards could make use of them.
Mm-hmm.
And our next destination is Drumnick Town.
Mm-hmm.
Is the map out?
Yeah,
Since
Mara
she
would
was
have-
looking at it.
Yeah, she'd put it on the table.
Look! Best of both worlds. It's on the way to Snowhead.
True.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
I
we
guess-
can head there after.
Yeah.
Probably have to see. I mean, Zora's Domain probably has some proper hiking gear and stuff if we're heading up Snowhead, but
We can worry about that later.
yeah. Alright. In the meantime, well, we have still the rest of the day to just do stuff. Although, and she kind of eyes Hikan and says, I'm not sure exactly how much more things you can do considering your current state.
Hikan stands up and then walks like he normally does.
Okay, alright.
I told you, it's fine.
Hey, Khan, how many fingers am I holding up? And I hold up 3 fingers.
More than 2.
He's not wrong.
This entire time, anytime that 3 has come up, that's more than 2.
Yeah. Well, guess we should go do stuff then.
If we're going to be irresponsible, we probably can't have Hikan in this state.
I'll be okay. I'll be quiet.
He's
Okay.
managing fine.
Can you walk in a straight line?
He just did.
Hikan sits there and takes a bit of a breath, and then walks in a mostly straight line. As straight as he normally walks.
Okay. Well, I guess we should get
I
started.
got pay thicket, and I run to the bar.
Oh no.
Hi!
Hi, we're getting ready to go. So I wanted to make sure you got your payment.
Oh, okay. I think it's just 2 gold pieces.
Okay. Oh, I can count to that right now. And I hand him 2 gold pieces.
Gladly
Ziden
takes
is
the-
going to walk up behind Hikan and cure his drunkenness. Ziden giveth and Ziden taketh.
I'm gonna roll a perception check to see if I even can dodge that since I am drunk. That's an 8, since I imagine I'm
Yeah.
poisoned.
Yeah.
And then Hikan goes, damn it.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you again, Thicket.
Okay.
And then he remembers that we were talking about supplies, and like a list of things just pops in his head. He's like, okay, I have a plan.
Oh no.
Yay.
And on that note, I think we will call the session there because continuing on would just put us grievously over time. So, thank you all for coming along to episode 46 of Hyrule Chronicles. I am ArticulateT, the Game Master, and with me as always I have had Renji Vox, Heir of Nihilus, being played by TheNetherlad.
Still can't get drunk.
I have Hikan Sio, Sober Warrior, being played by Alvarance.
He fought perfectly these 2 days that he was sober.
Yeah. I have had Ziden Shari, Walking AA Meeting, being played by Rubber Pirate.
I solve all the problems that I cause.
Druids, man.
And
Sure, it's the best.
yeah, and finally, I have had Max, Man of Throwing Much Freight, being played by Keith Struth.
I did again.
Yeah,
You did the game.
and we'll see you guys next time. Bye now.
Bye.